You ever had strange experiences in your meditation? Perhaps seeing lights, images, hearing weird sounds, or having some jerks of movements, spontaneous movements in the body. If so, watch this video stay with me until the end of this video, and we'll discuss all of these weird things that can happen in meditation. Hi there, meditator. Welcome to episode 33 of Master Your Mind Daily, a daily series of videos all about meditation, anxiety, and personal growth. My name is Giovanni Dienstmann. I am the author of Practical Meditation and the creator of Live in There, one of the 5 most visited meditation blogs on the planet. And today we are talking about the weird side of meditation. You see it in any tradition, in any group of meditators. You will find people who have had strange experiences in meditation, experiences that they have never had before and that they can't really explain. And sometimes these are just ignored. We are advised to ignore them, and sometimes they are offered explanations. So my first question is, what is one weird experience you have had in meditation that you would like to know more about? Please write it in the comments. So there are different approaches to explaining these weird experiences in meditation. The secular approach is to say, look, just observe and ignore. We don't know what they mean. We don't know why these things are happening, but it doesn't really matter for your meditation practice, so just observe and ignore. The other approach, the spiritual approach to meditation, will then give you different explanations for these experiences. And these explanations will often be metaphysical explanations. So you may feel comfortable in receiving these explanations. You may feel that they don't match your worldview. So in this video, I'm going to offer a little bit of those explanations. So if you feel that this is not for you, now it's the time to leave. Okay, so I have taken note of a few different weird experiences that happen in meditation, and they are light effects, images and scenes, sound effects, certain sensations, spontaneous movements, and psychic phenomena. And based on my own experiences practicing and teaching meditation and my study in this field, I will tell you what they mean. So let's start with light effects. Have you ever seen some bursts of light or dots of light or just light moving in front of your closed eyes during meditation? If so, please write yes. And if no, please write no in the comments. So in some traditions, they will say, yes, these things can happen. We don't need to go into why, but just ignore them and bring your attention back to your breathing or to the mantra or to whatever object you're working with in your meditation. In other traditions, they will offer explanations. They say that when you're seeing light in meditation, it is some sign of progress. Especially if these phenomena of light, if they are stable. Like, for example, seeing a dot of light in the middle of the mind screen that comes, stays for a while, and leaves, that's usually a sign of progress in meditation. It will not happen for everyone, but if it happens, it's somehow a sign that the energies of the mind are getting focused and your awareness is also getting more refined. And you will notice that these experiences of light in meditation, they are different from the light that you see with your eyes open. Somehow it feels more real, more vivid, more alive. That's why people like them. I like them, and there's nothing wrong. Some people say like, it means that you're getting distracted. No, it's a natural phenomenon that can come as you progress in meditation. And if that experience is stable, if a light comes and stays, then I would say focus on that. Leave aside your object of meditation and just focus on that. And that will help you go to the next level in your practice. Another thing that can happen is seeing images in your meditation, or sometimes whole sceneries. And this is different from imagination, and it's different from remembering something visually. Some people are more visual than others. I am not a visual person. I am more an auditory person. So sound, for me, is a stronger sense than sight. I can remember things that were said. I can remember concepts and words very clearly. Funny, I'm a writer, so that's a good thing. But I cannot remember visual things so easily, and I cannot visualize so easily. But still, in my own meditation practice, sometimes it happens that I see a whole scenery in front of my closed eyes. Mountains and the sky and people and cars, or other things as well. So that is not me visualizing, because I'm unable to visualize something with that level of detail. And it's not memory either, because I have never seen those things, that scenery. So it's something else. And you might have had this experience in your meditation as well. Usually what this is that your mind is going into a state that is a dreamlike state. So these images appear in front of your closed eyes, just like you see images in a dream. The difference is that you are, instead of dreaming, you are in a meditation state. You are aware of what's happening. It's almost like a lucid dreaming, but usually you are not inside that scenery. You're just seeing the scenery itself. Now, some yogis, some meditators, they will give you an explanation that is more metaphysical. They will say that you are starting to develop inner vision. You're starting to develop the vision of the subtle body, or also known as astral vision. And sometimes you may notice that these things that you see in your mind during meditation, you may later see them in real life. Then that's more like a psychic phenomena, premonition. So we talked about light effects. We talked about images and scenes. The third type of strange experiences that can happen in meditation is sound effects. And that means you are hearing something. It's usually a humming sound, or a bit of a buzz, or something like a white noise. It can also be a sound of a bell that you are hearing, but it's not coming from your environment. There's nothing in your environment causing that. It's coming from the mind itself. And there's a whole discipline of meditation. There's a whole style of meditation called Nada Yoga, which is focused on these sounds. And they classify that as you're going deeper into meditation, there are, now I don't remember if 10 or 13 different sounds that you will hear, one of them kind of more subtle than the other. This is different also than tinnitus. It's even people who don't have tinnitus, they can have this experience in meditation. And as a matter of fact, if you do have tinnitus, you are advised not to practice this particular meditation. So this is something else. And again, the explanations that are given in the manuals is that you are developing the subtle hearing, the hearing of the subtle body or the astral body, and you are starting to hear the movements of energy in the body and in the mind. That's the explanation that is given. But if that happens to you in meditation, again, it's a sound that it's the experience of this sound is slightly different than the experiences of sound in the real world. And it's kind of interesting, so it catches our attention. If that happens for you frequently, then I'd say you can use it as an object of meditation. Or if you want to explore this area more deeply, you can look into Nada Yoga. There's a book called The Law of Attention. Funny, that's one of the things that I talk about for another purpose. But there's a book called The Law of Attention that explores this topic. And also I have a guided meditation on Nada Yoga in my Limitless Life meditation program that you might want to try. Now, the next category of strange experiences in meditation are sensations. We are seated still and we're not moving our body and there's nothing much happening in our environment, but we can have sensations of heat and cold in a certain part of the body, very localized. We can have sensations of lightness and heaviness that happen spontaneously, or we can feel sensations of floating or sinking. And there are other sensations also. These are just some common examples. And again, the explanation is that there are movements of the energy in our subtle body. So the meditation masters explain that we have not only the physical body, but we also have a subtle body, which is made of what they call prana. And in the Chinese tradition, they call it chi. In the Indian tradition, they call it prana. And as our physical body is becoming very, very still and not moving, and as our mind is becoming more present and our awareness more refined, more sensitive, we can start feeling certain movements of energy, certain sensations that are happening in the subtle body. They're not happening in the physical body. They're happening in the subtle body. So again, it's a sign that your mind is becoming more calm, more sensitive, more open to these types of experiences. So in a way, you can say that it's a sign of progress in meditation, a sign of something happening. You will not have these experiences when the mind is very agitated. It's very, very unlikely to happen. So all these experiences show that there is some level of tranquility, there's some level of calmness of mind that was achieved, and there is some refinement of attention and awareness so that you can perceive these things. And finally, there is spontaneous movements. You might have experienced this when you are meditating and suddenly your head or neck or arms kind of move by themselves. It's a jerk or a bit of a jolt of energy. And I know I have experienced this several times. I've experienced all of these weird effects of meditation several times. But for this one, strangely enough, sometimes it happens when my mind is getting distracted in meditation. Then my leg will move by itself, kind of like this, as if it's trying to bring me back to the meditation. It's been a while that this hasn't happened, but it has happened several times. I have no explanation for this. I don't know why this is happening. But again, probably is some movements of energy in the body. Some masters say that as you are going deeper in meditation and as you are releasing certain emotional tensions and as you are de-stressing, these things can happen in the body. These movements can happen. I don't know if that's true, but for me it makes sense. The body and the mind are very connected. And our body gets sick when our mind is sick. When our mind is involved in repeated unhealthy patterns, the body will show that. So if we are starting to reverse this process, I see it as something quite plausible, quite possible, that the body will kind of show some reactions, that is, letting go of these energies. And then finally, there is the very controversial topic of psychic phenomena. This is something that I don't talk about, and most meditators won't talk about, because in our society dominated by materialism, scientific materialism, these things are shunned. These things are seen as illusions or just hallucinations. But almost all advanced meditators have had experiences like this, where they see something in their mind or they just know something, and the knowledge of something comes to mind during meditation, and then that thing happens. It can be an experience of premonition, knowing what's going to happen before it happens. It could be an experience of thought transfer, where you receive the thought of someone else, and then later on you discover that. It could be an experience of synchronicity, that as you're going deeper in your meditation and becoming more calm, centered, and focused in your life, that you experience more synchronicity. That means strange things, strange coincidences happening that are very beneficial for you, for your growth and fulfilling of your goals and desires. So there you go. This was a quick overview of a few different strange experiences that can happen in meditation. So in summary, meditation is nothing spooky. It's nothing that you should feel afraid of. But as you go deep in meditation, some strange experiences can happen that you cannot really explain. Things like seeing some light effects, like a dot of light appearing in the middle of the mind screen, or bursts of colorful light and things like that. And no, you're not taking mushrooms. You're not going into a dream state. You are very lucid and aware, and these things come up. Images can come, whole sceneries can come and manifest themselves in front of your closed eyes. You can hear some sounds that are not happening in the environment. It can be a sound of a bell, of a hum, of white noise. You can have strange sensations of floating away from your body or sinking deep, of cold and heat, lightness and heaviness. And you can also have spontaneous movements, as if your body is moving by itself, like a jerk or a jolt. All of these things can happen. And what to do about them? Well, some people give you no explanation, and some people give you some metaphysical explanations. But what to do with them in meditation? There are basically 3 guidelines. First is, don't get attached to them. Just like any other experience, they are things that come and go. The second guideline is, if they come and stay, if they are always coming for you or coming frequently for you in meditation, if they are stable, then you may want to use them as an object of focus in meditation. If it's a dot of light, if it's an image, if it's a sound that comes often for you, then focus on that. Use that as the object for your meditation. And third, if these experiences are disturbing, if they are bothering you, if they are unpleasant, or if they are negatively affecting your daily life and other aspects of your life, then talk to a meditation teacher about it. So that's it for today. This was episode 33 of A Master Your Mind Daily. I will be making 100 videos like this. And if you don't want to miss any of the other ones, then make sure to like and follow the Facebook page of Live in There, and to subscribe and turn on the bell if you're watching this on YouTube. And if you want my personal help for making sense of any strange experiences you're having in meditation, then consider contacting me for a coaching session, meditation coaching. I will leave the link in the descriptions. I hope you have found this helpful. I don't find much good explanations about these topics on the web, even though every forum where meditators hang out, you will see people sharing these experiences. So I hope you have found this helpful, and happy growing.